Mr. President, last November, the American people sent an unmistakable message to Washington, D.C. Voters across the country said that they were tired of the gridlock, and they were tired of the lack of action by the Democrat-led Senate. Well, we are now working again for the American people, because voters said it was time for a new majority, the Republican majority, a Republican majority to get the Senate working again and to get America on a better course. Republicans heard the message, we heard it loud and clear, and we have been doing exactly what the American people have sent us here to do. Under Republican leadership, the Senate is working again for the American people, and the best example of that is the bill we're considering right now in the Senate on the Keystone XL pipeline project. The Obama administration has blocked and delayed this job-creating project for 6 years. Now, Republicans are moving forward. We're moving it forward as well. We've had an open debate on the bill, and we've allowed amendments to the bill. Imagine that. We're actually debating legislation on the floor of the Senate, and senators are actually offering amendments to that bill. We're all familiar with the milestone that the Senate reached last week. You know, last year under the Democrat leadership, there were a total of 15 up and down votes on amendments. 15 for the entire year under Harry Reid. That's all the Democrat leader allowed. Well, by the end of the day last Thursday, we completed our 25th amendment vote. Just 22 days into the year, the Senate had already been more productive on amendments than it was in 365 days under Democrat leadership. Now, we didn't stop there. Today, the Senate will vote on up to 18 more amendments to the Keystone Jobs bill, and then another 12 are ready after that. Several Democrat senators complained the other day about what they said was a lack of amendment votes on this bill. Well, where were they last year when the Democrat leadership allowed only 15 amendments to get an up and down vote for an entire year? Now, Senator Schatz and Senator Markey, two Democrats, had never gotten a vote on one of their amendments in the Senate before Republicans gave them a vote last week. Senator Coons will get his first vote on an amendment today. Now, all of these amendments aren't the only way the Senate is working again for the American people. Another example is going to happen on Thursday. The Energy and Natural Resources Committee is going to hold a hearing on a bill that I introduced earlier this month. We've got 4 Republican sponsors on that bill and 4 Democrat sponsors, Senators Heinrich, Bennett, Heitkamp, and Kane. It's the Liquefied Natural Gas Permitting Certainty and Transparency Act. And now Senator Toomey, a Republican, has added on, and Senator Udall, a Democrat, has added on. So now there are 5 Republican and 5 Democrat co-sponsors. This is an idea that the House took up last year, and it passed with bipartisan support. 46 Democrats voted in favor of increasing America's exports of liquefied natural gas. The House is expected to vote and pass a bill again like this week. This is an idea that has bipartisan support in the Senate as well, so it should be a no-brainer. Plans to send American energy overseas are wrapped up in Washington red tape, and Americans who are eager for the jobs on these projects continue to wait. This bipartisan bill will do a lot to fix that problem. It would set clear deadlines for Washington to make timely decisions on these import permit and export permits, important permits to export liquefied natural gas. Once there's been an agreement and an appropriate environmental review, the Secretary of Energy will have just 45 days to act on a permit application. Increasing American natural gas exports would do 3 important things. It would create jobs. That, of course, is number 1 and most important. These are American jobs, jobs for Americans. Private sector wants to create these jobs, not government jobs, private sector jobs. Second thing, it would help to reduce our nation's trade deficit. And the trade deficit currently stands at $39 billion. The third thing is that these exports would support our American allies. Last year, Russia invaded Ukraine and seized control of Crimea. Well, why? Well, largely because of the natural gas facilities there. There were a group of senators who were actually in Ukraine. I was one of them the day that the Russian helicopters landed just north of Crimea at the gas plants there. This was about the gas. Well, we could help reduce the threat Russia poses to Europe by offering more options for our allies to buy American natural gas. There's no good reason for the endless delays on these export permits. Our bill would speed up the process. These export projects are job creators, bipartisan support. They've been stuck in Washington's bureaucrat gridlock. The Senate's going to be acting to get these projects moving. That's why the American people sent us here. It's how the Senate is supposed to work. Committees consider the ideas on both sides, bills get debated in committee, on the floor, and every senator has a chance to talk about it, and then to offer amendments that might improve legislation. That's how things always worked before. It was a slow process. It was meant to produce consensus. Majority Leader Harry Reid changed all of that. The Democrat Majority Leader did everything he could to block amendments and to bypass and skip committees. Did he do it to make better laws? No, not at all. Did he do it to speed up action so the Senate could be more productive? Of course not. It was a transparent campaign tactic to keep vulnerable Democrat senators from having to take tough votes. Even Democrats couldn't get votes on their amendments. Well, that gimmick by Harry Reid and the campaign tricks failed, and the American people were not fooled. That's one of the reasons that voters across the country chose Republicans to lead both houses of Congress. The American people said they deserve better, and the American people were absolutely right. The American people want Democrats to start working with Republicans to get things done. That's what Senator Heinrich and I and others who are co-sponsoring this measure today are doing with our bill. The American people want an honest debate on important issues like the Keystone Jobs bill as well. The American people want their representatives in the United States Senate to be able to offer amendments to bills like this one. That's how the Senate should work. That's how the Senate is working under Republican leadership, and that's how it's going to continue to work. So I'm pleased to see the votes are going to be held on these amendments. I'm happy to stand up and cast my vote on behalf of the people of Wyoming. I look forward to more votes, more debate, more consideration of ideas from both sides of the aisle. Now, it's interesting, Mr. President. President Obama has threatened to veto 8 separate pieces of legislation so far this year. It's interesting to the point that it's gotten a headline in today's USA Today, page 2A, Obama veto threats are at record high. Veto threats at a record high. The president said he'll veto another 2 bills that haven't even been introduced yet. If they haven't even been introduced, how does he know what they're going to say? How does he know what they're going to say once they go through the process of being amended and get passed in the House, passed in the Senate, and get to his desk? The president should reconsider each and every one of these veto threats. The Senate is moving forward. The White House is putting up roadblocks. That's not what the American people were asking for in November. The American people want us to work together, to get things done, to make their lives better. It's about them. It's not about the people that sit in this body. It's about the American people, their quality of life, people living paycheck to paycheck, day to day, what their lives are about. The Republican Congress and this Senate continues to listen to the American people. The President of the United States continues to ignore them. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor. Suggest the absence of a quorum.